Jack reloaded his gun. Yeah, but we can't lose any more time, he said, and walked out of the warehouse. He put his gun back into his jacket. Gentlemen, do you really want to die here? He asked. A few seconds. Nothing happened. Then dozens of arrows flew into his direction. He created an ice barrier. Alicia also stepped out and looked around. I will go right and you go left. We will meet at the other end of the warehouse. The next thing he noticed was that Alicia disappeared, only to reappear on the roof. So he followed her example and took 2 archers with 1 sword strike out. It took them a few hours to finally reach the end of the fight. Alicia and Jack dragged themselves out of the city. They missed a few ships and had no clue where they should search next. Both showed up in the hotel. Sophia and Amelie leaped over the chairs and went to their friends, healing their wounds. What happened to you guys? And Lucia got kidnapped? Amelie asked. Jack looked at her. We know. We searched for him at the harbor. Sadly, we got a bit sidetracked. It is possible that one of the ships had him on, but we can say for sure. At least the 2 are alive, and knowing him, we'll probably find him in the bed of a girl he saved along the way. Amelie joked. But how did you guys knew it? Alicia pulled out a watch. Lucas gave the watch to me yesterday. He wanted to try something out, and Jack wasn't around. But since he knew that we had plans to meet up, he gave me the watch. Erica showed up a few minutes later. She looked at the group. Really? Again? He swear to God, the next time we find him, I will bind that kid to my ankle, and if it's the last thing I do. Amelie sighed at Erica's comment. Well, back to the usual. Is there anything that happened I should know? Amelie asked the group. Jack pulled out his gun. Well, I made a new invention. Amelie picked the gun up, checked the gun for safety restraint, then removed it. Aimed and shot one of the vials on top of the bookshelf. She put the gun in the secret compartment of the desk. You don't build something like that ever again, or I will end your bloodline right there. Understood? Jack nodded his head. Fine. I won't. And so the group split up again. Alicia pushed Jack out. As your future queen, do I command you to keep improving yourself? Whispered Alicia in his ear and handed him the gun. You don't need to be a street criminal to know how to get what you want without being seen. Whoa, what happened here? The criminal asked, only to hear the sound of an ongoing fight. The shipman summarized the events since the 2 knights entered the city, which ended with the conclusion that I should finish the trade and leave. So the criminals handed the 4 girls over. The shipman looked over each of them and paid the criminals based on the girls' appearance. Happy with the money, the criminals left. The ship reached its limit and decided to leave. before the fight involved them or their cargo. The captain looked at the harbor as the two knights reached their dock. One of the knights casted a giant ice spell, but its range couldn't even cover a fraction of the distance. With that, the captain went to inspect that new cargo. The captain and two of his men went down and looked up at the forecast. Two men let the unconscious girls up, while the captain pulled out a black orb. He laid it off in the first girl's hand, and nothing happened. Captain, the stone didn't do anything. Are we sure that the stone works? One of the men asked. He looked at his sailor. You think I will know a fake or be tricked by someone to buy a normal rock? But I forgive you. Jess, your mother got screwed by a noble, didn't she? The other man nodded as captain threw the stone in Jess' chest. After a second, did the stone start to glow? Looks like your mother told the truth, the captain said. Jess threw the stone back to the captain, who placed the stone in the second girl's hand. A week long, nothing really special, but it would raise her price quite a bit. The third was supposed to be the one the criminals should catch. He placed the stone, and sure enough, the stone glowed up, proving that she was the daughter of a real noble, and her description was a match as well. No, the fourth. He placed the stone like before, but this time the stone didn't just glow, it filled the whole room with light. Looks like those guys managed to catch a holy maiden. We should contact those guys more often, the captain announced. With that, the captain dragged Lucia away from the others and into his personal rooms. His men followed. He put her on his bed. The other men get what they want. They knew they would never get the money equaling her true value, which is enough reason to have their own fun. The captain's hand moved slowly from her feet up her leg. She was not unconscious, but her body reacted. With each centimeter, his excitement rose, till he reached the middle of her thigh. Lucia opened her eyes, noticing the hand between her legs. She spun around and kicked the guy with her other foot in the face. In a second of shock, she rolled out of bed and started running. The man followed her up on deck. She reached the railing of the ship without getting captured and climbed on top of it. The captain ordered his men to stay down. You don't want to throw your life away like this, he started, but she took a step back. Get down. We don't need the hassle of fishing you out of the ocean. If you behave now, we will only have a little fun with you. I promise you will leave the ship as a woman without any injuries. How about it, young lady? Gina jumped off the railing back on deck. Oh, you just want to have a little fun with my body, taking away my innocence in that regard? It's just a bonus for you, isn't it? Well, why don't we play by your rule, pirate? With that, she walked up to one of the younger men. She looked him in the eyes and then kissed him. He was hesitant at first, but after a second did he actively participate. to the enjoyment of the crew. The moment the lips stopped touching, did he fall to the ground. His body was dead long before he hit the ground. Oh, didn't I mention it before? My father wanted to make sure that nobody would be capable of playing with me. If he doesn't like him, good thing I stopped you, pirate. A bit further, and the ship would be without captain, she counted. Seeing the dead crewmate, all of them decided to stay away from the girl. One of the older men moved behind her and punched her in the face. In a moment, she fell to the ground. Did he grab her arm? If one flew in motion, did he twist the arm behind her back? Then he increased the pressure. Her arm started to hurt. Every second, the pain got stronger, till her arm gave up and broke. Feeling her broken arm being twisted, reached Lucia's threshold, and she blacked out. A few hours later, did she wake up? Multiple girls stood around her and looked down at her. Lucia tried to move, which led to her feeling every broken bone in her body, and the girls trying to stop her from moving. But it was already too late. Lucia could feel the wounds inside her body opening up again. That's it. The wounds were too much. Trace on. She focused on the image of a machine, allowing her mind to act. She managed to materialize the displacement clause. Neither her mind nor her body was capable of using the gloves, so she focused only on her brain, heart, and lungs. She could feel herself running away, but she managed to push the damage onto the pirates on the ship. She slowly expanded the effect to make sure that she could at least move, without ripping herself to shreds before laying down again. What happened? Did she whisper? One of the girls with the blood off her face. We don't know. The captain took you away. Then there were a lot of noises, and then after a while, did I drag your lifeless body here? Normally the doctor would show up after one of us got a beating, but he didn't. So we tried our best. The girls tried to sound confident, but her voice sent a clear message. Was the doctor on the youngest side of the crew? Lucia asked after a while. The girls nodded. Well, then I probably killed him. I should have been more careful with my threats. One of the pirates showed up a few hours later and gave the girls food and drinks. The next few days followed the same structure for the girls, allowing Lucia to slowly heal the dangerous injuries. The captain looked onto the sea as one of his crew members stormed into his room. Captain, something pushed us off course. We need your help. The captain ran past his man towards the steering wheel. He looked at the map and compass. The color left his face. He started to correct the course. Everyone standing on the ship lost their balance. Sadly, it was already too late. He looked to the side and noticed the ship approaching. There was no warning, no. Warning meant to definitely be entered, and the loss of his crew's lives. He turned the ship around and went straight ahead, trying to take the other ship out. He dodged the first 3 attacks from the other ship, but the 4th one was a straight hit. He commanded his crew to load the cannons. But she felt the impact of the attacks and dragged herself to the door of her cell and looked at the doors locked. Thinking about it, she asked one of the other girls for hairpin, using it to pick the lock. After the door opened, did Lucia break down. The last thing she noticed was that two of the girls catched her. Everything after that went black. It took a lot of effort, but Lucia managed to open her eyes, allowing her to look in the eyes of an unknown young girl. "Oh, you are awake. What should I do?" The girl walked from one end of the bed to the other. "Where am I?" Lucia asked Lucia asked to help the girl focus. Well, our lovely patient is awake," came it from outside the room. An older woman entered the room. She placed a few bandages on her desk before she walked over to the two girls. "Looks like you got in quite a bit of trouble, young lady," the woman said as she grabbed Lucia's eyes. "You are dying. Nearly every bone inside your body is broken. The amount of internal damage is even beyond my abilities. Yet, you hold on to that tiny thread. I mean, someone tried to heal your wounds, but that is more than lackluster." "Do you know which of the girls was it?" Lucia focused and told the woman. "I was it. They beat quite a life out of me, so that was the best I could do. So, is that going to be a farewell, or are the bandages for me?" The older woman looked her up and down. "Do you think you are worth our entire stock of medicine and bandages?" Lucia smiled. "Would we have this conversation if I wasn't?" "Well, Estelle, I would say your first patient is going to be a challenge. I hope that isn't a problem." Lucia smiled at the scared girl. "This is your first time with a patient, or your first time trying to act alone?" The girl looked at the ground. "Trying alone?" she muttered. "Estelle, look me in the eyes. You are going to do a great job because I am going to help, and we will show that old witch just how much life is left in me. Deal?"